The other way you can get audio into Pro Tools is through the menus. So File, Import, Audio. And this will open up the audio import box. Now this can be accessed with Command Shift and I or Control Shift and I, and it opens up the audio import. So let me walk through this audio import window. Let's find some audio to look at. So we can navigate through our Explorer, go through our drives, and we can look to find our audio. And the great thing about the audio import window that I recommend for beginners, if you're going to import audio, try and use this at the start, and then once you know what Pro Tools is going to do, you can just drag and drop. But in the meantime, I really strongly suggest you use this because it's a great way of being aware of what Pro Tools is going to do to your audio. For example, we can see the file type. This could be an AIFF, it could be maybe an MP3. You can see the file type there. You can see its length. That's always good. If you think you've got an hour-long podcast coming in and your audio file runs in at 3 minutes, that's probably not the right file. File size, bit depth, sample rate, and how many channels. And you get little notifications from Pro Tools here that it's going to tell you what it's going to do if you do import it. So this file cannot be added straight to the session because it is not in the BWAV format. So it will only allow you to convert it. Also, if this was 16 bits or this is 44.1 or 96 kilohertz, it would give you warnings then that it would want to change those too. So we've got a choice here to convert all, the same thing. We can remove from that list, remove all from that list. If we find a file here, this file is in the BWAV format. Even though it's 16 bits, it's happy that this is a BWAV, and we can add it. We do not want to be adding files. I promise you, you're just going to lose stuff. 15 years, I have lost so many files because someone has added things when they were building the session. Convert every time. And then at the bottom here, we've got some playback and transport controls. We can see the start and end, the length. We can scroll through. We can preview in here.
The Progress Theory, where we discuss scientific principles for
That's nice.
optimizing human
performance. You can test your files. You've got a little volume control here if it's a bit too loud. And at the bottom here, you have got your sample rate conversion. Now this is set to 48K, but if it was 44.1, we could change it and we can change the quality. We saw this in the preferences in the other video. But we don't need that because it is 48K. The bit depth doesn't matter, as I've shown in the session setup window. You can change the bit depth of your session at any point. Command and numpad 2 will open that window up and you can adjust your bit depth. So we can choose, we're going to have that go in and we'll have that file go in and we'll get some of this music as well. Put that in, click open. And it will ask you where you want it. Now you will not get this option if you drag and drop. It will just assume, as long as that preference is checked, that it's going to go in the audio files folder. This is the only time you'll see this. So yeah, we're happy that it goes in the audio files folder for this session. Open, and it will process the audio. And once it's processed the audio, it will give you the audio import options. Again, you don't get this when you drag and drop. You only get this if you use the audio import function. So we've got the choice of doing what we did earlier. Do you want a new track? Dropping in a tracks list. Do you want to put it in a clip list? Putting it here. You can choose where you put it. You can choose the selection. So my cursor is here, or my playhead, sorry, is here. So if I select that, it will import here. But if I want to put it somewhere specific, I can spot it, session start, or song start. If you had this set up, you can mark that the beginning of a song is at a certain time code. But in this case, we are just going to drop it in at the selection point that I have here, and it's going to come in as new tracks. And there we have it. Music, interview, intro, all imported and all in the right place. I can check that. Pro Tools Primer, audio files, and there they all are. So that's importing audio.